Hey, it's Sasha Evdokov, and in this video, I'd like to cover the concept of fear and also greed. Now, these two forces really oppose one another. When the market is in fear, the market is tanking usually and going down. When the market is in a greed state, the market is skyrocketing, and then the market's going up. So these two forces are always going back and forth, and people talk about fear versus greed and so on and so forth, but really, in simple terms, it comes down to the psychological part of the fear and the greed. And I always like to look at things just differently than what a lot of other people like to look at things as. So for me, I like to look at the fear and the greed in terms of spectrums. Now, what spectrums are just a nice linear way to look at things. So it can be a nice line, and on one side you have fear, on the other side you have greed. Now, if we talk about it in a different way, let's talk about love, and in the opposite of love, let's just say could be unloved, maybe robotic, maybe depression even. It could be in terms of, black versus white, and in the middle you have a gray tone. So when we have fear and greed in the market, you basically have the market leaning on one side or the other. Because the market is not in balance, it is usually shifting towards one end or the other. So it's either going to the upside a few points, down a few points, and when it goes too far to one side, it'll bounce back up to the other side. Think of it as a seesaw effect. Now, the problem with this is really that when the market is in perfect harmony, the market doesn't move. But you see those times very, very few times. It usually doesn't happen. Usually the market still goes up a point, goes down a point. It may go up 5 points, it may go down 5 points. But it's very rare, or I don't even think it ever even happened, where the market opens at one price and it closes exactly at that same price. Because for that to happen, no trades would have to take place. So the market is always not in a balanced state. And for that reason, if you take it along the spectrum, with the fear on one side, the greed on the other, the fear is technically, if you turn the fear into a psychological concept, the fear is really underconfidence. It's really lack of confidence. Whereas the greed is overconfidence. People that, believe they're going to make $1 billion in a single day. So the greed is overconfidence, whereas the fear is underconfidence or lack of confidence. So these two parts are always playing with one another, and the market is trying to balance each of those out. So if we had perfect well-being or perfect harmony, if things were in perfect alignment, the market wouldn't move. But that doesn't usually happen. So we're always battling with fear versus greed. So it's just a concept for you to think about and switch your thinking a little bit different when the market starts shifting in one way or the other. Because a lot of people discuss the fear and the greed, but they don't discuss how it applies. Now, as you start digging deeper, you start looking into yourself and seeing how is your body, how is your emotions, how's your inner self feeling towards the fear or the greed. Are you more in the overconfident state, or are you more in the lack of confidence state? And as you start looking at those pieces and positioning yourself on this spectrum of fear versus the greed, you'll know which one you need more of. And whichever one you lack of, if you're further on this side, then you're going to need more greed or more confidence. If you're too greedy, you need to get a little bit more risk in you, or get a little bit more of lack of confidence in you, so that way you're in well-being. Because when you're in well-being, or when the yin and yang is in perfect harmony, you're balanced. And that usually works out much better when you're trading your account or your portfolio. Otherwise, you may take a huge dive on your portfolio, and disastrous things can happen. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching this video. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and sign up to my newsletter list, where I show you exactly the stocks that I'm watching that will break out higher. And that will be in my rapid recap. Just click the link right here and you'll get notified when the rapid recaps are released. And if you want to take your trading to that next level, accelerate it, and learn a lot of information very quickly, then check out some of my courses at tradersfly.com. Thanks for joining me, and don't forget that there's more to life than just trading. So go out, do what you love, contribute to other people, and most importantly, live life abundantly. I'm Sasha Avdikov, and I'll see you next time.